When silence isn't enough, Billboard, Jennie, and the backlash heard around the world. In the world of global entertainment where every frame is dissected, every word amplified, and every headline carries the power to shape perception, there is little room for error, and even less tolerance for injustice. Last week, Billboard, a name synonymous with authority in music journalism, stepped onto a fragile fault line. What followed was not just a tremor, it was an eruption. It began innocently, or so it seemed. A street-style video interview published on Billboard's digital channels, designed to gather public opinions on female performers. In an age where content is king and virality reigns supreme, such formats are nothing new. But what sparked unprecedented outrage was not the format itself, but the choices within it. One of those choices, featuring Jennie Kim of BLACKPINK, global K-pop icon and cultural tastemaker, in a montage punctuated by negative commentary and misleading edits. At the heart of the controversy was a now-deleted clip suggesting that Jennie was lazy on stage, an accusation not only reductive, but divorced from context, history, and nuance. Voices in the video opined carelessly. "She's always like that," one said. Another added, "She doesn't give us anything." For fans, critics, and cultural analysts alike, this wasn't harmless chatter. It was a character assassination, wrapped in the guise of content. And it didn't take long for the storm to break. Within hours, the video had gone viral, not for the reasons Billboard may have intended. The backlash was immediate, unrelenting, and global. Hashtags like #BillboardRespectJennie and #BillboardTantrangeni surged to trending status on X, formerly Twitter, as millions of fans, commentators, and celebrities joined a chorus of outrage demanding not just accountability, but decency. To understand the depth of this reaction is to understand who Jennie is, not just as an artist but as a symbol. She is a pioneer, a risk-taker, a performer who navigates the intersection of art and identity on a global stage with precision and vulnerability. She's not just Jennie from BLACKPINK. She's Jennie the fashion icon, Jennie the soloist, Jennie the face of a new era of global femininity in pop culture. To undermine that legacy with cherry-picked soundbites and careless framing was, in the eyes of many, an act of cultural vandalism. Worse still, it felt personal. Fans accused Billboard of leaning into long-standing biases and giving a platform to hate under the guise of public opinion. In editorial terms, the segment was problematic. In ethical terms, it was incendiary. This wasn't journalism. One international fan group from China commented. It was a hit piece masquerading as street commentary. Billboard used out-of-context video and the voices of known anti-fans to manufacture a narrative that damages Jennie's credibility. That's not just unprofessional. It's disgraceful. Prominent voices across digital culture weighed in. Influential critics, cultural scholars, and fellow artists echoed the outrage. One user wrote, "Jennie is a human being, not a clickbait thumbnail. She deserves respect, not dehumanization." The sentiment was echoed across platforms, languages, and time zones. As the video's virality surged, the conversation shifted from backlash to action. Billboard quietly pulled the video from all official channels on August 3rd, an act that many saw as an implicit admission of guilt. But to the public, silence was not a statement, it was an insult. To many, deleting the video without explanation or apology only added fuel to the fire. It was damage control masquerading as integrity. Adding to the firestorm, Billboard's history with Jennie was thrown into sharp relief. Just months prior, the same publication had celebrated her as a Woman of the Year, gracing its glossy cover with words of admiration and reverence. How could such a publication, once heralding her brilliance, now allow her to be mocked, belittled, and portrayed as a cultural footnote? One viral post said it plainly. "No Jennie, no clicks. I guess that's the game." The reporter behind the video, under mounting pressure, came forward to offer context. She explained that the interviews were random and unscripted, that she wasn't familiar with BLACKPINK and had no intent to target Jennie. While the statement humanized her, it didn't satisfy. The issue, after all, was never just about one interviewer, it was about editorial oversight. About the decision to hit publish. About a system that allowed misinformation, however unintentional, to slip through with the power of an industry giant behind it. This wasn't just a public relations slip. It was a reckoning. In a time where authenticity is currency and fandoms are highly organized, deeply informed, and vocally protective, legacy media must tread carefully. Trust once lost is hard-earned. And for Billboard, a brand that once stood as the pulse of the music industry, the silence has been deafening. Because at its core, this isn't just about Jennie. It's about every artist whose narrative has been twisted for engagement. Every performer whose hard work is reduced to a headline. Every woman in the public eye who has been punished for not conforming to outdated expectations. Jennie, as always, has remained poised. She has not issued a public statement, nor has her agency. But the world is watching. The fans are documenting. The digital record is immutable. And with each passing hour, the pressure mounts, not just for an apology, but for an evolution. Billboard's brand is built on stories, on charts, on moments, on the narratives that define generations of artists. But stories come with responsibility. When that power is misused, when the truth is blurred in pursuit of engagement, the consequences are real. And make no mistake, this moment will be remembered as a flashpoint, as a warning, as a case study in how not to wield influence. Jennie doesn't need Billboard to validate her success. Her artistry speaks for itself. But respect? That's not optional. That's not negotiable. That's earned, and when broken must be repaired. The world is still waiting. Until then, the silence is louder than any apology.